And now year-to-date correspondent Rachael checks in.
Thanks, Jason. Since 1998, 5.4 million people, largely women and children, have died as a result of extreme violence in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In an attempt to bring greater awareness of this issue to AU, Led a sophomore. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jason. Since 1998, 5.4 million people, largely women and children, have died as a result of extreme violence in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In an attempt to bring greater awareness of this issue to AU, led sophomore Leah Bomberger to write If Thy Tongue Could Speak, a live representation of those affected by the atrocities committed in the Congo. The show was received this past weekend with rave reviews and a packed audience. Tonight, Leah Bomberger has graciously agreed to come speak to us. Thank you so much, Leah. I'm very, very appreciative of you coming tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
So first off, we're going to ask, what got you interested in this topic? What was it that you decided, I would want to bring this to AU and I want to do a play about it?
There was an initial conversation between my friend Alexis and I. She started interning at Congo Global Action, and we were talking like over coffee. She was like, this is insane, what's going on in this country? She's like, I've studied a lot about Darfur and about northern Uganda, but this is just out of the ballpark, what's going on? So she got me intrigued with the topic, and she knew that I had a theater background, and she was like, Leah, would you like to write a play? Because it's I think a different way of going about spreading the word. And I said, of course, definitely. So I went to the library and checked out a whole bunch of books, got online, did a whole bunch of reading, and really started to just immerse myself in the topic and in the stories. It really struck home and really made me feel like there was something that I couldn't walk away from this without doing anything. When I read about the women and the gender-based violence and the hundreds of thousands of women that have been brutally gang raped and have complete silence and no one knows what's going on. So it was pretty much just a casual conversation that just kind of started rolling into something, and now we're sitting here.
And it became this huge project that was very successful. I'm assuming last night I went to the show and it was packed house and people were very supportive. I know a lot of people probably stayed for the panelists that you brought in as well. The different methods that you used to portray the stories were very interesting. You used narratives from women who had been, their words were reported in the United Nations Watch report?
It was actually the Human Rights Watch report, but I did use stuff from the UN as well, because they've also have a comprehensive peacekeeping operation there.
And then also at the end, you, towards the end of the evening, you had a clinic where people could buy health supplies, and they could send it to the women. You could buy water for people, and then you would get a little copy of a piece of water. That was very interesting. What kind of led you to, those are very creative methods of grabbing people's attention and allowing them to help these women?
Sure. The theater question for me was something that I have dealt with since high school. I have always been interested in theater, and I love the capacity of, as a writer or a director, I can lock you in your chair for 45 minutes and I have you. You can't walk out and go get popcorn. You can't make out with your boyfriend. You know, like I have you, you know, and I have your mind and I have your heart. So I'm going to use this 45 minutes and really get to a response within you and share other people's stories. So for the theater part, it was really just getting people's attention in a very busy, very oversensitized world. And then with the other things like the clinic, and we had a refugee camp on the quad and different things like that, it was just different ways to get people's attention. I think with the clinic, it was really seeing how just easy it is. I got in contact with an organization called African Harvest that is trying to build 24 medical clinics in East Congo. And the leader of the organization, Mark, sent me an itemized list of every single thing they need to start up a basic clinic with a price. So the items that were on the board, like for instance, you could buy an HIV rapid test for $2.
I bought one of those.
Oh, good. That's exactly the cost that it is for the organization to buy it. So it was really just breaking it down and showing people how easy this is and how simple it is. Because I think when you look at a conflict like the Congo, which is so complex and you can't really break it down into, you know, 2 sentences of this is what's wrong and this is how we're going to fix it. You know, just showing people how really easy it is to get, you know, people aware and also help initiatives on the ground, like medical clinics.
Right. So how could you tell us how much money was raised? Because you were asking for donations. There was a small price for the tickets, but a large part of it was donations and asking people just to be willing to give.
Well, roughly, we don't have the final numbers in, but it is over $2,000.
That's fantastic.
Which is absolutely phenomenal. I was literally speechless when we counted the money up from last night. And we know that there is some more still trickling in from some people, and also we do have some more in our student account that we have not accounted for yet. So $2,000, considering that people in the Congo live on 30 cents a day, is absolutely groundbreaking.
That will have a huge impact on
and honestly, just in 1 week. This is not, we have not been collecting money, for any longer period of time. It's just been for 1 week. So I really want that to be seen as like a way of like, this is that easy. Anyone can really do this. It's not just this, rocket science kind of thing. Anyone can really do it.
So what can students still do? Do you have any plans for the future?
Yeah. As of right now, we're kind of pursuing a lot of different things. The first thing is that this coming Wednesday, we've asked kids to pledge to give up their cell phones. As many of the people saw in the play, we discussed the issue of coltan, which is a mineral that's in every electronic device. And like conflict diamonds, you really have no idea where this mineral comes from. Even though the conflict diamonds have the Kimberley process that certifies them of being non-conflict, there's no real way to know. And in coltan, we don't even have a process like the Kimberley process. We have no idea where it comes from. It could come from Australia, it could come from Canada, or it could come from East Congo. So we want kids to give up their cell phones and to change their voicemail to something like, I've given up my cell phone for the day, to show my support, to those in East Congo and, help end the violence, something like that, so that when people call, they can hear. Or if you have a BlackBerry that, you have an automatic message that gets sent out to, all your emails that come in, things like that. So that's this coming Wednesday.
Okay.
And if you want more information about that, contact Alexis Naden. And then other things, we want to get this play out to more college campuses because it's only a 35-minute play, and I think that it's something that is really easy to adapt to whatever school you're at. And we're also looking at doing other things like having a movie screening of The Greatest Silence, a documentary about the gender-based violence in the DRC, sometime on campus. It was released on HBO just a couple days ago, but a lot of us don't have HBO. And so me and another student think that we should probably get a screening sometime, maybe down in Ward, for people to come and see it. So just various different things. And as always, we are open to more and different ideas. I would love to talk to people who have different ideas about what they think we could possibly do.
That is great. Thank you so much for coming. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I wish we could continue this. I could probably talk to you for hours about this issue. I will definitely turn off my cell phone for this Wednesday to take part of that. And thank you for coming to speak with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Do you want to get involved in Year to Date?
If you want to join our team, please email us at yeartodate@auatv.com.
And that's our show. We'd like to thank our guests, Peter Wahlberg, Ben Shore, Justin Brubelo, Justin Fensterman, and Leah Bomberger.
We'd also like to thank our crew, Molly Swade, Rachel Monin, Laura Gibson, Christina Bartol, and Josh Rothman.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week.
Be sure to tune in starting on Tuesday for our special report, an exclusive Year-to-Date ATV interview with actor and activist Martin Sheen. And then next Sunday at 9:30 for another episode of Year-to-Date, right here on ATV.
Good night and thanks for watching.
Good night.